Hey everybody, welcome to Module 3, Media and Culture. So to introduce this topic, we're going to be exploring the intersection of media and culture. So in our last module, we really dug deep into media literacy and looking at the what and whys. So in Module 3, we're going to be tying those concepts of media literacy into the idea, how does media influence culture and how do those things then influence us and how we work. I want you to think in particular as you're reading through the materials and watching the videos, how this impacts youth, kids, teens, and then also adults. There are essentially 4 assignments in this particular module. We have 3 different discussion posts, and then I'm going to have you write a short essay. Notice that assignment 3.4, the discussion post requires responses, so you'll need to have your original post in by October 8th so others can respond to you by the 11th. In our first assignment, we've got a lot of materials, but they all flow together. So I want you to start off by reading this chapter in a book. I've provided you with 2 chapters from this book so that we didn't have to buy the whole book, because these are the 2 most relevant chapters for our course. So you can see that as a PDF file. And in this chapter, they focus on kind of introducing the idea of media and culture and the intersection. Please pay attention in particular to the idea of mass communication and mass media. What do those 2 different things have in place? It's helpful if you read the learning objectives before you start each section, and then each section is followed by reflection questions. See, as I scroll down through this, you'll see that they have a summary of the key takeaways and then any kind of activity. I do have an assignment tied to this, so everything in here is really for you to take in and to think about. So I'm not going to go through that whole chapter, but you want to really take some time reading that particular chapter. I've provided you with a link to some Google Notes, so these are other things to reflect on and to consider when you're going through the chapter. You do not have to turn these in, but these are the key points, so I really want you to make sure that you understand these 12 considerations. Then I have 3 of the videos in the Crash Course Media Literacy series, kind of the overview, big picture, and then 2 that's on the history of media literacy. And there are some components in there that tie back to chapter 1, and so it's a way for you to kind of access and analyze material from different perspectives. So 1, you have kind of a straight academic text, and then 2, here you have more of a podcast and interesting series. If you're not used to watching videos on YouTube, I have a link here to a resource on how to get the most out of working with YouTube videos, how to be able to see your transcripts, changing languages, all those kinds of things. So then I would like you to finish up by reading and watching this short essay and video on Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Message or the Massage. As you'll pick up when you read and you look at different things in some of those video series. So this is a link to the article, but just in case that doesn't come up, because you can get a couple of free versions of this. Here is the article itself, and then if you click here on this link, it will open up a YouTube video that goes along with that reading. It basically narrates the process. All right. So once you go through all those materials, this is where your assignment is. You're going to post to a discussion. So you're going to find something that's considered an advertisement. So an advertisement obviously is trying to promote something, sell something, something that's an ad, and I want it to be relevant. It has to be within the last year and something that you found memorable. So it could be in print, it could be broadcast, it can be online. And then I want you to find something that's a media message that you consider to be a non-advertisement. So that can get a little tricky because lots of things can be considered ads, but think about something that's just providing information. That is a PSA. So there's probably a lot of things that are just informational pieces of media that have been around in the last 6 months. So just saying. And I want you to compare and contrast those two in different ways and how they both express cultural values. So are the cultural values the same? And I said, is the influence overt or covert? So covert means the influence is like there right in front of your face. Overt means it's kind of, I'm doing it the other way around. Overt means it's out there in your face, and covert means it's kind of under the covers. So is it like I'm influencing you, I'm trying to influence you, or is it more subtle? So talk about those different things. And then I want you to also tie in the idea that McClune presented on, is the medium actually the message, or is the message the medium? I want you to post both a link to or a screenshot of your advertisement, your not advertisement, and then you need to respond to the questions posted in numbers 3 and 4. Next is on mass media and its messages. So we have our second chapter, and this is all we're going to read from this text, and that's right here. I have Google Notes here. I have another of the crash course videos that I want you to read, and then I want you to respond to the following prompts. So a big influence in our cultural landscape and media is celebrity. So a celebrity can represent different things depending on the form, the media, and the portrayal of the person. So I want you to find a celebrity. It could be a magazine online or something like that, in print or whatever, and choose one of the celebrities mentioned. Then look at how that celebrity is portrayed in the magazine, and what kind of role does that celebrity take in other forms of media. So, and how do these portrayals associate with specific cultural values? So are you finding influences, or do you see a certain person portrayed in different ways in different media? Is there the cultural values they're representing different based on the media that they're being represented in? Those types of things. So think about those. And this particular one, you're going to still be using the chapter 2 here, and this is focusing on media effects. So I'm going to scroll down here. I do still want you to read all of this because it will help you in your last post. So cultural messages and media, new media and society, but there's a section in here called media effects theories. And this is what you're going to use when you're writing your essay. So if you notice, again, McClune shows up, but the media effects, the media effects theories begins here. So there's an agenda setting theory, uses and gratifications, symbolic interactionism, spiral of silence, media logic, cultivation analysis. So those are the media effects theories. And what I want you to do is choose one of these topics. So media bias, internet habits, television's effects on attention span, advertising and self-image, or racial stereotyping in film. So you're going to research one of those following topics. And research means you're going to look for more information somewhere else, not just pull from the pieces that I gave you. And I want you to examine those topics using at least two of those approaches. So again, those approaches can be found in this section here on media effects theories. And they start here with agenda setting. So we've got agenda setting, uses and gratifications, etc., etc. So you're going to pick a topic, you're going to do some more research, and you're going to write an essay relating at least two of those effect theories. So how do we theorize about media's effects? And how do we theorize it on bias, internet habits, television advertising, or racial stereotyping? And here is the rubric that I will use in order to grade your essay. And then last but not least, I want you to watch the following videos. And for our discussion, you're going to choose one of the videos in the list, but please watch them all. And you're going to write a summary of the key concepts found in that video that you chose. You're going to relate your summary to what you learned in Module 3 on media literacy and to something from the readings in the assignments on 3.1, 2, or 3. And actually, I need to fix this. This should be Module 2. So you're going to relate it to Module 2 and then to the readings that we did in the previous assignments. Then what I want you to do is respond to at least one other person who did a summary of a different video. And I want you to respond with something that's thoughtful and extends the discussion. So not just, hey, good summary. So you want to give some more depth. You want to start to engage in a conversation. And your first post, so number 1, needs to be done by October 8th. And your response to somebody else needs to be done by October 11th. So that is all we've got for this particular module. I know it may seem like a lot, and it is some, in depth, and this is kind of one of the heavy lifting modules that we have because we're really trying to tie that idea of mass media, and culture together and those influences. I will send you guys a list of when we'll have some Zoom meetings related to this module. And remember, you can always reach me on Remind or anywhere else. Talk to you soon. Bye.